All right, ladies and gentlemen, good to be back. Welcome to the Monday edition of the Steve Malzberg Show. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving weekend. And now let's get back down to business. Of course, the big news over the weekend was that Fidel Castro died. That was one of two big stories. And Donald Trump didn't waste any time in tweeting out his immediate response to it. Let's put that up and take a look. Fidel Castro is dead! Exclamation point. Yay! Ding dong, the tyrannical, dictatorial, murderous thug is dead. But that flew in the face, kind of what Barack Obama tweeted out. But we'll get to that in a second. Not tweeted out, but put out in a statement. Today, though, Donald Trump added this, and this is about U.S. policy towards Cuba, which Barack Obama rearranged, circumventing Congress, and now has given Cuba basically much of what they wanted without anything in return. And Trump says, if Cuba is unwilling to make a better deal for the Cuban people, the Cuban-American people, and the U.S. as a whole, I will terminate the deal. Good for him. He should terminate this deal. Absolutely. Now let's look at what Barack Obama issued as a statement upon the death of Fidel Castro. Get this. At this time of Fidel Castro's passing, we extend a hand of friendship to the Cuban people. We know that this moment fills Cubans in Cuba and in the United States with powerful emotions, recalling the countless ways in which Fidel Castro altered the course of individual lives, families, and of the Cuban nation. History will record and judge the enormous impact of this singular figure on the people and world around him. Really? Really? The way he changed people's lives? You mean the hundreds of thousands that are dead? The ones that had to die trying to escape in shark-infested waters? The ones that are still in prisons and gulags being tortured? Those people, Mr. President? There's no doubt how history should judge Fidel Castro. Unfortunately, it's people like Barack Obama who I fear will have an influence on how history does judge Fidel Castro. And he's not alone. Obama's not alone. Take a look at the Prime Minister of Canada. This is Justin Trudeau. Get this. While a controversial figure, both Mr. Castro's supporters and detractors recognized his tremendous dedication and love for the Cuban people, who had a deep and lasting affection for El Comandante. I know my father was very proud to call him a friend, and I had the opportunity to meet Fidel when my father passed away. Really? Really? Now, I thought I was going crazy. I thought that was from The Onion, a satirical news website. And maybe Marco Rubio had the same thought, because here's what he put out after he read that ridiculous, insane statement from Trudeau. Here it is. Is this a real statement or a parody? Because if this is a real statement from the Prime Minister of Canada, it is shameful and embarrassing. Well, it's shameful and embarrassing because this clown meant it. This guy meant it. I'm going to have a lot more on Castro, and in the Gimme 5, you're going to see how the media treats him and has treated him over the many decades. Don't miss it. All right, before we get to Bill Kristol, we have some more at hand here. The other big story over the weekend was, in fact, the recount. Jill Stein, a loser if ever there was a loser, got about 1% of the vote. She raised $7 million or so, God knows from who, and she went and filed at the deadline in Wisconsin for a recount of the presidential results. She's going to do the same in Pennsylvania and in Michigan. Now, over the weekend also, the Hillary campaign and Hillary, the rest of them, they're all one, said, we're on board with this. Really, they're on board with this. So Trump tweeted this out. Hillary Clinton conceded the election when she called me just prior to the victory speech and after the results were in. Nothing will change. And let's go back to that debate. Debate number 3, Chris Wallace. Remember this moment?
Are you saying you're not prepared now to commit to that principle?
What I'm saying is that I will tell you at the time. I'll keep you in suspense.
Well,
okay?
Chris, let me respond to that, because that's horrifying.
Horrifying? So what are you doing, Madam Secretary? Aren't you doing something even more horrifying? So late after you concede
about President-elect Trump not conceding are the people that are conducting recounts in states where we've won by over 68,000 votes.